Need for Speed Payback. Oh boy. Need for Speed Payback is sadly affected by unfair, unjustified reviews, and it is quite frankly insulting and tarnishes the franchise's reputation in areas where really it deserves credit. In this review, I will give genuine, serious, justified and factual criticism, overall producing a fair review, and break it down into sections to make it easier to understand and give this game the justice it deserves, because the amount of bullshit surrounding this game is like nothing I've ever seen before. Nothing. I will state my opinions, but will not include them in going towards the final conclusion, as I consider multiple views, standpoints, and you know, logic. This is the first video I have scripted, and the script is telling me to get the fuck on with it, so with all that out of the way, Need for Speed The storyline of Need for Speed Payback is short, sweet, and simple. Nothing too crazy, and certainly no major issues with it. However, the only real thing I can criticise with it is its length. You can finish this game's main campaign or story in little time. Once again, I'll say it certainly isn't bad, and I certainly admire the attempts at lengthening it and keeping it interesting and not resulting in the utter boredom fest that was Need for Speed 2015 and the god-awful clusterfuck of characters it attempted to introduce and develop. Hold on, I'm getting ahead of myself here. On the whole, the characters in this game are very well portrayed for the character roles they are meant to fill. Our three protagonists are Tyler, Mac, and Jess. Tyler is the typical American white bloke, Mac is the stereotypical black Brit, and Jess is the badass I'm in this for the money bitch American white chick. There's a grand variation, and that's all good, and for the most part these characters certainly seem to be loved by audiences. The only real complaints, or criticism, I have heard of these characters is the voice acting, and well yes, it has its moments. That's straight up OG, fam. Every character's voice makes sense to who they are, and who they're portrayed to be. I hear a lot of people saying, Mac's voice is shit, is a stereotypical black dude. No fucking shit! Mac is a stereotypical black dude. In fact, every character is just a stereotype. They're just a normal person. But the whole idea behind these normal people is when they group up and work together, they have the power to take on an entire mafia. And that is the story of Need for Speed Payback. Are completely avoidable. Optional! If you're one of those people out there that despise and refuse to buy this game because it has microtransaction options, shame on you. Fucking shame on you. You're a blind, inconsiderate, idiotic Whether or not the car list is good or not, most of the time is highly opinionated, so it's hard to properly review it without stating my own opinion. You know what? I'll give you my opinion. It's shit. One thing I never understood originally about the type of cars they included in this game was, imagine the developers all sitting around the table, and the car list was the key topic. Okay everyone, listen up, our game centers greatly around the area of cosmetic customization. We need cars for this game that suit the criteria for lots of customization, yeah? Oh, me, I know. Yes, Bill Clinton Jr. Let's make 70% of the cars in the game supercars and hypercars that generally have much less visual enhancement options. Holy shit, that idea is brilliant. Any ideas for any more microtransactions? As I said before, the game's center point is visual customization, so I'll tackle that first. And amazingly, despite the joke I just made, amazingly, there are multiple customization options for each part of every car, for the most part. The derelict super builds are insane, right down to the hypercars and supercars, which somehow manage to still have tons of customization, so certainly good going, Need for Speed. This is probably the most controversial topic of this entire review. I'm going to need you to listen because I am going to completely underscore the positives and the negatives of the entire performance upgrading system in Need for Speed Payback. The whole idea between the brand new upgrading system and Payback is, in short, grinding for the parts. The parts slowly get better and better. You can receive parts through speed cards, which you receive from the tune-up shop, purchasable with part tokens, or within in-game money, or through winning one at the end of an event. I think it is fair to say that the majority of people do not like this new system. From what I have found, people dislike it for the following reasons. I will mention different perspectives from different standpoints just to further make these points more legit and unbiased. Sorry if I sound so protective and shit, I'm seriously just preparing to be beheaded here. First reason to hate, RNG factors. There isn't much I can say on the RNG factors of the upgrading system, because, what can I say, it's RNG. It can be kind, it can be a pain in the ass. Despite being a generally unlucky individual when it comes to RNG, personally, I don't mind the RNG elements they implemented into this game. Reason for hate number 2. The amount of time it takes. In generalization, for consumers, it can be a large inconvenience, so I can understand why people may be against it. However, I refuse to mark the game down for this because there was an actual goal and genuine considered idea behind this all. EA acknowledged that the game itself is short. For obvious business reasoning, they wanted to extend the gameplay time for players, like any game dev company would want to do. The fact that they actively make you play the game more in order to achieve your goal, in this case to upgrade your car, is a brilliant idea. The game devs sat down, thought about it and refined this idea in order to improve their game and game experience for all players. Which in itself shows that the game devs actually gave a shit. The fact that some people hate this game purely because they don't like the upgrading system and knock the game for it, completely ignoring and not considering different standpoints or including a single morsel of justification, is one of the key reasons I despise the way critics handle this game. That point I just made, all it took to write that up was some common consideration and appreciation. I get that there's dodgy rep around the NFS franchise in recent years, and especially EA as a whole recently. But for fuck's sake, appreciate that there is still good things being implemented and things to be appreciated into these modern art forms, you sadists. Some people are so desperate they'll complain that the grind for parts takes too long, and then complain that the fast option, which requires microtransaction processes, is bad. You people literally set yourselves up to annoy yourselves and get annoyed at the game. You cannot win. Can you not see how fucking stupid this is? So if you don't like any method of upgrading this game, and you just like the old system of buying all the top parts on the spot and being done with it in a single minute, you're cutting away game time, taking away features away, ideas away, and overall making the game worse. Just because you're a lazy fat ass and inconsiderate man-child. Grow up, wake up. The only bullshit here is the fact that you call yourself a critic. I feel I just justified the game well in one of the most unfairly reviewed parts of this game. Whether you like it or not is your opinion. But if you hate it for any other reason besides, I do not like the performance upgrading system in Need for Speed Payback, however I do acknowledge that it is well thought out and benefits the game, then you are wrong. Okay? Good. Moving on. Yet another thing that people fail to consider in their laughable attempts at criticizing this game. The physics. And here I'm mostly talking about handling physics. One point that is critical to remember. Not every racing game ever made is a simulator. The handling does not need to be anywhere close to realistic. This is something so many people unfairly judge, and not just this game, but many non-simulator racing games. Need for Speed Payback's driving or handling physics are a massive improvement from 2015's. This all kind of boils down to preference, but personally I think that this is a good handling model. This coming from someone who plays both simulator and arcade racing games. The only thing I may add to my statement, and I know that Fail Race Alex also mentioned this as well I believe, sometimes the car does seem to pivot around the wrong point. It's hard to explain or demonstrate, but it's not a constant feel, because as I said before, I like this handling model. I mean, I really doubt you could just walk into your local Tesco and buy a microtransaction for a better handling model, right?
Now you see that, lads, is a Tesco. Right there, it's a Tesco. Some say that in Tesco they sell handling models for Need for Speed Payback. We're going to have to go and see if that's true. Where the hell did you find a handling pack for Need for Speed Payback? pricey, isn't it? Everybody's staring at me like I'm some sort of fucking madman holding a camera talking to himself. But do you have improved handling physics for Need for Speed Payback? No, you don't. Do I? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. So I think it's time to go and put them to the test to see if these handling physics actually work. And if they're better. This is why I will never be a vlogger. Goodbye, Tesco. Now I'm sure some of you are going to be very confused. And to that I say I do not blame you at all, because I just bought pancakes from a Tesco. But pancakes and the Need for Speed Payback handling model have a lot in common. Trust me, you'll see. They are basically the same thing. I mean, if you think about it, all the physics that a pancake has is something that all cars and video games should have. So we're going to see what happens to a pancake in real life, and if it would happen to a car in Need for Speed. And that will test if the physics are any realistic or good enough. Let's be honest here. Cars do not... Fuck. I didn't fall over. We might have damaged our first handling physic. Shit. Okay, well admittedly our first test didn't end too well. We nearly fell off a rock face into the sea, admittedly. But don't worry, because we can always try this again, just maybe in a better, safer, less hazardous area, yeah? Sounds good to me. God, this is gonna be a long walk.
2,000 years later.
Well, moment of truth, do pancakes, Need for Speed handling physics work in water? Do they float? Oh, the answer to that is yes! Oh, don't eat it, no, don't do it. Don't do it. Oh, you scum. That's my fucking handling physics, you bastard. Fuck you. I was going to suggest testing if the pancakes were praise-proof, but I think nothing is praise-proof. I highly doubt the birds of prey would approve of my Need for Speed Payback handling physics. So I don't think I'm going to bother that one. What's about to ask why this place reeks of fucking seaweed? But I remember that's there. God damn, I still have 5 fucking physics engine pancake motherfucks. Like, what do I even do with the rest of them? I don't know, maybe the Need for Speed Payback physics system is edible? Fuck knows. Like, no one's tried to eat Need for Speed Payback before. Maybe I should. I don't even see what this fucking joke is anymore. This is useless. Welcome to Cooking with Shiny. Step 1. You take one of your physics, you just flop it in the ground, and you smear it all over the shit. Look at this. If it'll come out. No? Come out, you fucking piece. Here we go, boys. Oh shit, we might have missed a bit. You just smear it on. Like so. Yes, that's what you do. Then what you do is you just pour a bit of water on it, and there you go. Look at that for a delicious, tasty meal. Yeah. Yeah, guys, I take it back. I think the old Need for Speed, I think the current Need for Speed Payback physics model is good enough. Oh god, I don't want to go through that again. God, that was worse than Project Cars, and that's saying something. And now we can go back to the review then. That's it settled. The Need for Speed physics of Payback are acceptable. They're good.
Moist, 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 moist. That makes me moist.
Need for Speed Payback is only released a short time ago, yet being EA, already has additional content purchasable. The Speed Cross story expansion is good, however the only thing that bothers me about it is the DLC consists of things we really should have had with the vanilla game. Then again, you could be describing most examples of any DLC with this statement. I don't really have much else to say on this topic other than thanks for the missing cars.
That's because it's full of common shit. What the fuck, dude? I'm not paying a microtransaction to go through here. Fucking bullshit.
Matt, I didn't.
Fuck you. You're a cameraman. You're not to have any fucking dialogue.
Oh.
Shit, dude. I don't need a fucking microtransaction. Where's my money, big fuck? I ain't paying you shit.
Have it your way.
No, don't. No.
I'm making your head the football in FIFA 19 as DLC. I mean, hey, motherfucker.
In conclusion, Need for Speed Payback 2017 is not the greatest racing game of all time. Of fucking course it isn't. But is it a 5.9 out of 10? No, I will not stand for that. This game is seriously the large progressive step EA needed to take in order to start getting this franchise back on the line. Do not let this standard drop, and do not listen to these critics. Go and make your own first-hand judgments and impressions of this fantastic arcade racing game. I don't usually like assigning an arbitrary review score to a piece of art, but for the sake of being at the end of my review, and assuming you haven't skip-watched the entire bloody thing, I give this game a well-deserved 7.6 out of 10. IGN could suck my arse. Thank you all so much for watching this far, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.
Burger King foot lettuce.